So the first topic I want to talk about is that the first trailer for Salem's Lot came out. Now I have seen the original Salem Lot, which was like a mini TV movie, mini series, whatever you want to call it. I watched the vlog on my buddy Justin, and I thought it was okay. So my excitement for this movie isn't really all that high. But I will say this: I thought this was a good, solid first trailer. It actually has me intrigued. It also revealed the date for the movie. It's dropping on HBO Max on October 3rd, so I will be checking it out. But I thought this was a great trailer when it comes to atmosphere. I like the idea of this being about a small town and like this mystery of people disappearing. And I'm always looking for a good vampire movie. So overall, I thought this was a creepy trailer. It has me intrigued, and it did what the first trailer stood. It has me, like I said, intrigued and a little bit excited to check this out. The next topic I want to talk about is there's been reviews that have come out for Hellboy The Crooked Man, that new Hellboy movie. Now, I haven't been excited for this movie. I think the trailers have looked bad. I mean, like the only thing I liked about the trailers is that it has kind of a horror vibe, which I think is cool. From what I heard, the story that this particular Hellboy movie is taking is that it's kind of like a horror story in the comics. But the trailers to me have just not been good. So my excitement is real high, and the reviews have been kind of what I expected. Like most reviews are saying it's either bad or it's just kind of like it's enjoyable but not like fantastic. And I will say this: I think it's weird that this movie doesn't have a U.S. release date. Like these reviews are coming out because it's being released in other parts, like in other places, in other countries. Like it's not. It still hasn't been. Still doesn't have a date for the U.S., which I just think is a little weird. Like I know it's coming out this year, but it seems like with the reviews, it's pretty much getting what I thought it would get. Like it's, people are saying they see the terrible or somewhere in the middle, and I hope this movie ends up being one of those movies that when it does eventually get a U.S. release date, that if I check it out, I hope this is like one of the surprise movies. The reviews, though, like I said, I'm not surprised by the reviews it's getting. Hopefully, this new Hellboy movie ends up being good if I see it. If I end up seeing it in theaters or not. But hopefully, it ends up being good if I do end up seeing it in theaters. The next topic is Transformers 1 is getting great reviews. And it sounds like Transformers fans are loving it. It sounds like this is a Transformers movie people have been waiting for. And I've been really excited for this movie personally. Like, I definitely want to see it in theaters. Like, I love the second trailer. The first trailer, I thought was okay. Like, I didn't hate the first trailer as much as everybody else did. Like, I had my concerns about the fact that the comedy was kind of like, had me a little worried in the first trailer. But it sounds like from the reviews that this movie has a lot of heart. It sounds like it does have a serious tone with some comedy. It sounds like the comedy lands. And like I said, I loved the second trailer. I thought the second trailer did, to me, the comedy looked better in the second trailer than in the first trailer. And if the movie's like this, like how the second trailer was, then like that makes me like that second trailer to me made me really excited for this movie. And I was already excited with the fact that seeing the Transformers movie was on Cybertron, the War of Cybertron. It sounds like the voice acting is really good. But Chris Hemsworth sounds like he does a great job as Optimus, an actor who does Megatron. So these reviews just make me even more excited for this Transformers movie. So hopefully it ends up being really good to great when I see it. But I'm definitely really hyped up for this movie. The next topic is, so the tracking for Joker 2 right now is saying it's going to make 70. Which is not really good for this movie. Now let me say this. This is tracking. Tracking can always be way off, on point, or lower than what tracking is predicting for this movie to open at the box office. So, again, this is like predictions. But if it does open with 70, that's not good for this movie because this movie cost 200 from what I heard, Joker 2, plus the marketing for this movie. And I still can't believe they even spent 200 on this Joker movie when the first Joker was like below 100. Like I don't think you need to spend 200 on a Joker sequel. Personally, I feel like they overspent on this movie. And it also is opening 20 to 25 less than the first Joker movie. If it opens to 70, again, tracking can be off on point or it can open higher than what it's predicting. But if it opens on 70, that's 20 25 less than what the original open was, I believe, in the 90 something area. So, like, I'm surprised that it's tracking with this number right now. Because I thought there'll be, I honestly thought, like, I was thinking it was going to, like, open in the 100 something area, and it still could. But I am surprised with the tracking being kind of, like, not really great for this movie. Again, this 70 isn't bad if this movie didn't cost, like, 200 plus marketing added on to that. But it just, look, I can't really say whether this movie's gonna be going on because I have to see the movie for myself to see whether I'm gonna like the movie or not. We'll love the movie, or we'll not like the movie, depending on how it hits when I see the movie. But I think one of the things that probably hurt the tracking for this movie is the fact it was showing at a festival, and the reviews have been like very mixed for this movie. Like the first movie had a polarizing reaction too, but this one I think even has a little bit more of a polarizing reaction because it sounds like people either love or hate this movie, and that was kind of the same thing with the first Joker. Like it has a 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, the first Joker, so it's not like critics were in love with the first Joker movie. I love the first Joker movie personally, but I think shown at the festival and the mixed response, I think that has hurt the tracking if it opens to 70. And it kind of reminds me of like when Indiana Jones 5 opened I remember at some festival before it came out, and the reviews were kind of lukewarm coming out of it. So I think that could hurt this Joker movie. I'm still excited for this movie personally. Like I said, I love the first one, and I've loved the trailers for Joker 2. So I'm still excited for this Joker sequel. Like I hope it ends up being really, like I don't need it to be as great as the first movie. I just hope it ends up being a really good, solid movie when I see it. But yeah, the tracking right now is basically saying it's gonna open with 70. It's like I said, a little lower than I thought. We'll see how it does, because like I said, tracking can always be on point, wrong, or off, or it can be higher than what's tracking. So see when the movie comes out. The next topic is Disney is being sued for using the likeness of the actor Peter Cushing, who played one of the Imperial officers in Star Wars Rogue One: A Story. And I'm not really going to go into the details of that case because I didn't really look up to see what all the details for the case and all the information and what like exactly is going on with Disney being sued for using this likeness. But I want to talk about the part of it of the idea of how studios are using likeness of dead actors, and it's become definitely a controversial thing, and that's the part I really want to talk about because I definitely have my mixed feelings on that when it comes to when you bring a dead actor back in a franchise, in a movie, and you're using their likeness. Because you have the whole AI thing and how technology keeps advancing, and whether it's fundamentally right to do that or not, whether it's morally right to do that. And I'm definitely on the missed aspect of that. Like Alien Romulus, one of the controversial thing about that movie is the fact they brought back the actor who played a synthetic ass from the original Alien movie. And he plays a different synthetic in Alien Romulus, but that actor passed away, and you're using CGI and AI to bring him back when it comes to this likeness. And then even the Flash movie was, as much as I love seeing Christian Reeve as Superman in the Flash movie, some of those cameos in that movie at the end, I've always said this, they have that uncanny valley look to it. And even Alien Romulus with that actor who played the synthetic in that movie, it has that uncanny valley. Same with Star Wars Rogue One: A Story. When you saw that actor being brought back that passed away, so I definitely think it's like it's one of those things where it's a gray area for me. Like I don't have a problem with studios doing that if they ask permission from the family members or the person's significant other or the children. Like the director of Alien Romulus said he did ask permission from that actor's family to use CGI AI to bring that actor back for the new Alien movie. So I think, like, for me, I'm fine with it. if the director asks the family. And I think it's always gonna have the uncanny valley look to it. I don't think we'll reach the point where CGI looks completely good when you try that still. So it's definitely one of those moral gray areas where I can understand people not liking it when studios do that. When it comes that you shouldn't that some people feel like it's just not right to bring an actor that passed away back using CGI for a character they played, or just bringing that actor back. So it's one of those things where I definitely can see like the side of it where people feel like it's gross or disgusting to do that. Like when it came to Alien Wildness, at the end of the day, that didn't like stop me from loving that movie. But I can definitely see why it's a more gray area where the studios should be doing that or not. And for me, like I said, I'm definitely kind of split on that. The next topic I want to talk about is The Hunt for Gullum is going to be split into 2 movies. Ian McKellen let us slip into that interview. And look, I'm excited for this movie based on the fact that Gullum, I think, is a great character, and I'm excited to see Lord of the Rings. Like, I'm excited for that animated movie that's coming out this year, but I'm excited to see a live-action Lord of the Rings movie again. When it comes to being split into 2 movies, I do have my concerns there, because The Hobbit was a great example where I'm not really the biggest fan of the Hobbit movies. But one of the things that hurt those movies for me personally was that it didn't need to be 3 movies. From what I heard, the Hobbit book isn't exactly like a big book like the Lord of the Rings books are. And when it comes to the Gollum's origin, I don't know if you really need 2 movies to tell that story. Like, I trust Andy Serkis because he knows the character the best since he played the character for 3 movies. And it's also have my concerns where Gollum's a character that can lead a movie. Like, he's a great supporting character, I thought, in the Lord of the Rings movies, but making 2 movies to tell his story, I don't know if you really need 2 movies to tell like his specific story. Again, I trust Andy Serkis, so I'll wait to see the movies to see if you really need 2 movies. But I definitely have my concerns about this movie being split into 2 movies. Like, I hope it's not a Hobbit thing where it's like, okay, they're stressing out the story when it doesn't need to be 2 movies. We'll see. So that's all the movie topics today. Until next time, movie fans.